Right. Welcome you all to the new video. So now we are going to advance the chip formation. So we'll compare the types of chips and then we'll proceed to the chip breakers. So okay. So the in previous lecture we saw that different types of chips are formed: continuous chips, discontinuous, and continuous with built-up edges. So the materials, cutting speed, friction, rake angle, and depth of cut. These are the conditions that we are comparing with respect to continuous chips, discontinuous, and continuous with BUI. The ductile material, brittle or hard material, or ductile material. That is the conditions that can be used. That will give a better result when we use these in these fashion. Then we can achieve better result of. And so now coming to chip breakers, what are chip breakers? Certain cases we will intentionally break the chips. We will intentionally discontinue the chips. In certain materials, we'll be having continuous long rolls of chips. So that may not be suitable because because when the chips are very large and higher, when then reducing the it will be occupying a larger volume of space. So when scrap occupy a larger volume of space in the machine shop or a shop floor, then it will also be a disturbance. And in other cases, when the ships whirl continuously around the tools, then the tools may will be obstructed by the feed rate may be obstructed by these chips. In another case, when some cases when the continuous chips are formed and these whirls may interact or interfere with the completed finished workpiece, and it may also create some scratches, scores that may be hinder to the surface finish of the workpiece. So we will intentionally break these chips. How these chips can be braked? I've listed three different types. The first one is obstruction type, and the second one is adding a separate tool. In obstruction type, we'll be modifying the geometry of the tool, single point cutting tool. You can see the geometry of the tool. In the first case, left picture, you can see a right angled cut is made on the tool. So that tool can it will obstruct the chip, and when continuous chips are formed, then it can make into discontinuous. So in the second case, when the chips are formed, the shape or the geometry of the tool is made in such a form that the rake angle will interfere with the chip and it will break. In the third case, a green separate part is fixed over the tool. The geometry or the dimension or the pattern of the tool is not altered, but instead we are adding a separate tool such that interferes into the workpiece as in the first case, and it will break the chips. So why chip breakers are used? It is to control the chip formation, reduce the cutting forces, improve the tool life, and enhance the surface finish. So I hope these are the factors, or these are the patterns what we discussed in the when we start this lecture. So the chip formation will be controlling it, the cutting forces, and improve the tool life, and the surface finish can be enhanced. So how to control chip formation during machining? It is by using chip breakers and no chip breakers. Some cases we'll use chip breakers, and in some cases will not use chip breakers. So what are the factors that will affect the chip formation? So the same case, the material properties, cutting condition, and the tool geometry. When ductile materials form continuous and brittle materials form discontinuous, it is a very evident factor. But in certain conditions, we can alter these also. In cutting conditions, by altering these cutting conditions, the material properties can also be altered. So what are the cutting conditions? The feed rate, depth, and the speed influence the shape and size of the chips formed. Tool geometry. What is the geometry? It is a rake angle, surface angle, flank angle that will continue. It will curtail, or it will make the chips to curl down into discontinuous pieces. So the functions of chip breakers are: it is to reduce the chip size, it is to improve the tool life, and enhance the surface finishing. These are evident factors what we discussed earlier, right? Then the types of chip breakers: mechanical chip breakers, geometric chip breakers, and chemical type of chip breakers. This chemical type of chip breakers we have not discussed earlier. That is by using some cutting fluids or lubricants that may it may also be used to reduce the friction between the materials between the workpiece and the tool, and in certain cases it is also used for breaking the chips. But how cutting fluid can interfere in the chip breaking is like it is by breaking the material. When the material is much higher hotter, then these cutting fluids may reduce its temperature and it will also have it, right? Okay, thank you.